going to show you the tutorial how to achieve the look of the photos that were just shown. I just got out of the shower about 2 hours ago, so my hair is about 60% wet still. Yeah, it's still wet. I co-washed with this. It works really well. And what you're going to need for this straw set is obviously straws. I use the Shea Butter leave-in conditioner, but any leave-in conditioner should work. Some kind of gel. I use the Eco Styler. This is the Firm Hold. A spray bottle with water. You're going to need clips, bobby pins, a comb. I use this. Whatever comb you use works fine. A rat tail comb. And that's about it. Now the first thing I'm going to do, because my hair is somewhat dry, is just spray it. This is just water. And then I'm going to apply the leave-in conditioner. I'm going to take about this much and just start at the bottom. And just kind of run it through with my fingers. I am 3 months into my transition right now, so you can see where it's kinky, and then the rest just gets straight. Anyway, it helps if you have a towel too, because I just like to wipe my hands off every now and then. Just applying more of the leave-in. Okay. Now I'm going to part it straight across into 4 sections. It's actually easier to start up here first. Now these parts don't have to be exact. They don't have to be straight or anything, because I find that it blends better when you take the straws out if the parts aren't totally straight. They look really manufactured if you do them completely straight. And then there's one section. I'll work with this section first. Just a second. I had to go grab my other clip. Okay. Now that you have these sectioned away, I'm going to apply a little bit more leave-in. And this time I'm going to comb it through with my comb. Okay. Now, going to take kind of a small section. Get a little bit more, probably about that much hair. To work with first. Then I'm going to apply the Eco Styler, about that much. Just pull it through. And then take your straw. What a lot of people do is cut off the end. And for these, for the bottom of my hair, since it's shorter than like the center of my hair, I cut it off also. But once I get up here, I actually like leaving these on because it allows, for when the straw is here, it allows it to bend and you can kind of lie on it or whatever you want without having the straw stick straight out like that, if you can see it. So I'm going to grab my scissors. You can tell I was not prepared for this video. This is my first one. So I'm going to cut off that edge. I save these for when I do braid outs. I put them at the ends of my braids so I don't get straggly ends, and they've got little curls. So you're going to take the straw and you're going to start at the bottom and wrap the hair around. And I wrap it around at least 2 full times before I start working my way up the straw. Like this. So you can see it's already starting to curl, and that just shows you how fast it works. So now let's actually attach it. Take your bobby pin and just attach it. Okay, now we're going to do another piece. About that much hair. Add the Eco Styler or whatever setting lotion or other kind of gel you have. Take your straw, cut off the tip if your hair is short. Oop, that one came undone, so let's try it again. That's why I like to wrap it around a good 2 or 3 times before I start working up the straw, otherwise it just comes undone. Kind of like this one did, see? Okay. So I'm going to actually redo this one because it just came undone. I didn't secure it at the bottom enough. And then I'm going to do the rest of my head and show you what it looks like when I'm done. I might do a couple when I get to the top. Okay, so I'll check in a little bit. Okay, I'm back. I finished my whole head, and I just wanted to point out a couple things. One is that I did not part it straight down the middle. You can if you like that, but I like the look when it's parted on the side, so I parted it about right here And these straws, I twisted them this way, and then the rest I twisted them this way. So when I take the straws out, the curls are going to go that fall in that direction. I wanted to point out earlier when I was talking about how I like to keep the ends on the straws. This is why, because see how this is one whole straw, but it can bend here. This one too, this is a whole straw, but it can bend because I left the end on. And it's just, I just like the flexibility. I can, you know, if I want to lean against the wall behind my bed or whatever, I just like having it more flexible than having them all just stick out like this. So that's why I keep those on. I also wanted to show you what happens. Most of these are pretty secure, but I see this little one right here is coming undone. What you can do is, if that happens, just tighten it, and you can secure it with a bobby pin. Just like that. I just put the bobby pin there and it's going to hold it there. Now if you're like me, I try not to put any heat on my hair, so I'm just going to leave it like this. The first time I did it, I actually slept on the straws. It was not the most comfortable thing in the world, I'll admit that, but I refuse to sit under a dryer. I don't have a dryer, first of all, but I just don't want to apply any heat. I don't want to use my blow dryer or anything like that, so I just let them air dry. If you have a full day of not having to do anything, like today I didn't have class or work, so I just did it, you know, this morning, and I'm going to let it sit all day, and then I can take the straws out before I go to bed. So that's what I do. I think that's about it for now. I'll show you what they look like when I take the straws out. The whole thing took me about an hour, which is about the same amount of time it takes to straighten my hair, so much healthier option, and I think it's a cuter style too. So yeah, I'll check in when I take the straws out.